'Tis the day before midweek, and all seemed well in Wake Up Town.
Okay, since we're doing that, as the sun rose, the neighborhood stared in their beds as they made welcome yet another Tuesday.
The cock crowd at dawn, and the little boys rubbed their tiny eyes.
As the sounds they could hear was from their TV set saying, "Wake up! It's another fine morning for another dose of your daily starter. Wake up, Nigeria!" We did good. We did good. We did good.
Yeah.
Now let's let the other people talk and see what they have.
Well, no better way to begin as we recommend only the best conversations and guests this morning for a wholesome family affair.
Absolutely, people. Welcome to the world where all biases are solved with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, that's it. No more Ukrainian war. Hey, Mike, and of course,
Man, I'll just commenting to MM that Auntie Mary, you don't want to talk. You already passed it in here, what was Auntie wanted to.
Oh yeah, let's hear what you want to say. Oh yeah, let's hear what you want to say. Oh yeah, tease.
Where were you yesterday?
Yeah, Mike, so now Mike will mess
But hey, come on, good morning, welcome to the show. MM, how you doing? I love your dress, by the way.
Thank you so much, Mike. Oh, this.
Oh, just go and move,
All right.
move
Hi
forward.
guys, how are you? Oh, when you look talking like that.
Mary, weren't we Congress? Weren't we together? You and I were like bam, bam, bam. Damn. Yakata. In any case, it's lovely to have you guys on for a Tuesday edition, and you too at home. So hey, look out for some interesting discussions dialed in for you guys, interesting guests as well. Of course, we have a kitchen segment which you guys will want to wait and see because it's going to be mwah.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, a small nugget for you, okay? If you aim for nothing, you hit nothing. No matter your luck, just try to hit something at least, okay? Hope for the best, providence will guide the rest. That's the way to go.
Nice
My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. Did you know that you can catch the show on GOTV? Now, you'll find us on channel 27 and, of course, UHF channel 49. You can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook right this moment.
Now, just so you know, in case you don't already know, we have our app available for download on both the Android and iOS stores, which allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world, okay?
Go iOS.
Yeah, well, let's check out what we have for you this morning.
Yes, indeed. We begin with health, and today we will be discussing health screening. Now, it's a panacea to healthy living with Dr. Owojumobi Otokiti Oluwakemi,
Yes.
a passionate and also dedicated consultant in hematology.
And then, of course, talking entertainment, right after that, we will be reintroducing our entertainment segment. Thereafter, our parenting segment comes up today. We'll be talking about what to do in cases of sexual abuse and vices with Omolayo Ayodeji. We can't wait to have that conversation.
Welcome. Tuesday edition. Looks like a Monday because you guys weren't here yesterday. I and Mike had a fantastic show, didn't we, Mike?
Best time ever.
Best time.
In fact, I can't.
We are never going to hear the end of this.
That's fantastic.
So
Remember that time when we were talking, Mike and
Plenty made a lot
to
of
make
sense,
it
and then Kelly now came on
amazing, we
and,
need to make it permanent.
made it a trio.
So moving forward, you just might see the guys only on Mondays.
Calm down.
Superman,
Well,
Man
good.
Crush
It's okay. It's
Mondays.
okay. It's not next
You
week.
guys
Oh,
have
good.
this covered.
We do.
Fine. When I'm there, I'm also in man, so
Well,
it's
it's
fine.
so nice to see
Yeah,
you
man.
both blushing
Yeah, man.
about having your day to
They're just
yourself
gushing
on the
about
job.
There is a man.
Let us hear what.
So, bro.
What's up? Don't even think of it. So that you can do the chest thing, Abby.
What's this one saying now? What's this one saying?
On a sad note, Nollywood lost two
Oh,
of
yeah.
its
Yeah.
own yesterday. It was
Yeah.
really, really, really sad. They all over the world, actually. I mean, because I'm sure they have fans all over the world as well. Shola Onoyiga and Adame. It was really, really, really sad.
You know what makes it even sadder? Because that was only just here a few weeks
A few
ago.
weeks ago,
Just a
yeah, on
couple
your
of weeks
view.
ago.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was barely 2 weeks ago, yeah. And I think it was the start of the year when she lost her daughter. Many people seem to think that she never got over that, perhaps. But I can understand. But whatever the case, she left great memories. She's very, very interesting, personable personality. And yeah, those memories will definitely live.
She did talk about depression following the loss of her daughter. If you want to catch the interview, it's actually been posted on
YouTube.
Instagram. So if you want to watch the full thing, just check it out on YouTube, okay? It's there. People have been watching it and making comments on it.
Yeah, I
So
think it
if
was
you
one of
missed it
the-
2 weeks ago. You
Yeah, it was one of the videos that trended yesterday because she actually gave full details of all the people that she's lost. She's lost quite a number of her family members, you know, from her siblings and then to her daughter, and how she's coped with depression and how she was even still going through it, or she's still going through it. it was. We pray and we pray for her family, and we hope they find comfort during these times, because it's. I mean,
and for Shola Onoyiga, we should remember.
Yeah.
She's the lady with the gap tooth.
Oh,
Very
fantastic.
Lovely. Fantastic.
House of
catering
That's one
practical,
of the-
teaching
One of
practical.
those iconic women in
best
Nigerian
shows, yeah.
entertainment
One
sector.
of the best shows ever. You know,
Ever.
there are
Fuji House
shows
of
that,
Commotion.
they define eras.
Yeah.
And Fuji House of Commotion
Was
was one of those
I
shows.
think it was a spin-off from
Yes, from Checkmate.
Checkmate.
The spin-off from Checkmate and all
Amazing.
of that.
May their souls rest in peace. Okay, it's time for us to check out what the weather has today. God, please don't let it rain.
It's not going to rain.
Please.
Well, thanks for joining us here on the news on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Kelly Egiga. Let's begin in Delta State, where the state government says it is investigating the cause of a strange ailment in a secondary school in Boji-Bodiowa in Ika North East local government area of that state. Now, 5 students are now infected, with 1 dead, while 4 others are recuperating at a hospital. Ikenna Mechi has more in this report.
Last week, 5 students of this school in Boji-Bodiowa got infected by a strange ailment which caused them to convulse. One of them died at the hospital. The Commissioner for Health, Modi Onoye, in a statement, assured members of the public not to panic, as measures are already in place to contain the spread of the ailment, with samples from the patients sent to the National Reference Laboratory, Abuja, for detailed analysis. The National Center for Disease Control has also been notified. Today, at this press briefing, Commissioner for Information speaks more about the ailment and what the state government is doing.
As at this morning, the Commissioner for Health and Commissioner for Secondary Education have also proceeded to, it's a private school run by the missionary. We discovered that some of the students took ill, and it was more like a convulsion. And the 5 of them were in a particular dormitory. And so, as a government, what we needed to do at that point is, first of all, begin to embark on process of ascertaining through some clinical analysis what may have triggered that particular development. By the grace of God, as of yesterday evening when I had interaction with the Commissioner for Health and the Commissioner for Secondary Education, the 4 students are in very good health. They have been able to manage them to where they are. The reason why it's called strange is because medically, not until you are able to scientifically ascertain what the issue is through a clinical examination, you don't just wake up to say this is it. Even malaria, there's some tendencies that you may display, not until there is a clinical examination through tests. It can still be called strange. So don't just think that because they say strange illness, it means that it's one kind thing that is that everybody should run away from. Medically, even when you are having headache and you begin to shake your head like a bird, until they're able to test it, it will be called strange until they have the full result.
A visit to the school shows that academic activities is still ongoing, though no other student has shown signs of infection. But as a result of the analysis is being expected, the government says it is handling the situation with utmost care. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
And outside Nigeria, in the U.S., a gunman has killed 3 people at a shopping center in the state of Indiana, the latest mass shooting in that country. Now, 2 others were also wounded when the attacker, carrying a rifle along with several magazines of ammunition, opened fire at 6 p.m. on Sunday at the Greenwood Park Mall, which is located about 16 kilometers from the state capital, Indianapolis. The attacker's identity and motive for the attack, which took place in the shopping center's food court, were not immediately released. The police said the attack ended when a 22-year-old Good Samaritan who was legally carrying a gun fatally shot the attacker. Those injured included a 12-year-old girl. That's according to the Greenwood Police Department Chief, Jim Eisen.
Thank you for staying tuned to Wake Up Nigeria. Time for the newspaper headlines. And we begin with the Nigerian News Direct. And it says, Comatose Refineries, new NNPC for unveiling to raise 1.24 trillion naira subsidy monthly monthly for fuel importation, as non-performing refineries under Buhari gulp 560 billion naira in 7 years. Here we also see ASU strike, nationwide NLC solidarity protests to paralyze critical sectors, and that's according to investigation. Up here, we have INEC will liaise with CBN to resolve storage of electoral materials. Former Oyo Attorney General Bayo Lawal becomes Makinde's new deputy governor. And finally, Aregbesola Oyetola's political fallout was a clear way to my victory. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Nigeria News Direct this morning. Now, moving on, we'll take a look at First News. First News has this on its front page. Osun Paul, Aregbesola's men worked for my victory. And that's coming from Adeleke. Says, but I don't know whether he gave them a go-ahead. Here we also see security men kill 7 wedding guests in Imo. Portable puts self in trouble over 1 million boys claim as IGP orders probe of his link to notorious gang. Singer makes U-turn, denies founding the cult group. Here we also see Osun Paul's outcome not verdict on LP's rising strength. And that's coming from Peter Obi. Says no government promotes corruption like Buhari's running mate. All of these stories and more you can catch on First News this morning. Moving on now to the Daily Trust newspaper, which has Boko Haram, others ambush soldiers, attack 4 states in 6 hours. CITF chair, 4 members killed in Borno. Troops foil attack in Niger. 2 killed, 1 injured in Plateau. 7-year-old killed, 19 others abducted in FCT Katsina. Here we also see airlines bleed as Nigeria's oldest carrier, aero contractors halt operations. NCAA deepens surveillance to avoid undercutting. Now, all of these stories and more you can catch in Daily Trust newspaper this morning. There's so much more to come. Right now, we have to check out what's up for fitness, after which, of course, we'll have our conversation in the kitchen. Stay with us. Let's Wake Up Nigeria.
Ooh,
okay.
time in it?
Yes, it is. All right. So we'll just head straight into it.
I don't know how many Mazuna was able to talk. I don't know he was able to talk because the way he has been laughing since just before.
But I wasn't going to say anything, Mike. But since you forced my hand, I just wanted to say.
As I was saying, what we are talking about this morning has to do with a post by Prince Eke, Nollywood actor, last weekend, where he said he cannot wrap his head around people cheating on their partners with their exes. And so that brought about
curious conversation, didn't it?
Curious conversation, that's the best word to use. So I'm just wondering, we even had a bit of it this morning and differing opinions and all.
Different angles.
And different angles. Let's even start with your angle. So
Let's get it out the way.
What's your take on that?
I do not believe in Okafor's law, because you were going there.
Please define Okafor's law.
What's Okafor's law?
Okafor's law is always Debe. Was Debe, always Debe, right?
Okay, so Okafor's law is when you have been in a romantic relationship with someone before, there's always that possibility to rekindle the love at any point.
It's not love.
Okafor's law
is not love. It's not love. It's a sexual relations plan. It's nothing even emotionally connected.
Well, started her. We can't stop her now.
There's no love when it comes to Okafor's law. Once you have been there, you always want to go there. But I do not believe in exes. I don't think I have an ex. I believe every relationship that I've had in the past never existed.
Okay,
that is my belief.
Sorry, don't be angry now. Who hurt you?
You know what happened?
In any case.
Let me talk about this issue said now. I've seen it somewhere else where people come out and say, I do. You are trying. You see, you need to... I think we've gone to the point where it's a life hack where people say you try to even deceive yourself. Benny, you are somebody's ex, somebody's your ex. Move on and stop trying to affirm.
No, I don't think it has
rubbish.
to.
But here, Mike, the thing that was
in other words,
everybody that says, I don't have an ex.
He found it curious that people actually can cheat with. Why go back to the ex? Why is the ex the option? Was his main point. If you get it, it's rather curious. Why?
If you're not married, it's not cheating, by the way.
Why did you get married to the ex? Is I guess what he was trying to say. Who said that? If you're always going to go.
If you're not married, you're not cheating. You can't cheat if you're not married. Yes, because you're still single.
Okay, you're single until you're married.
Of course you are.
Okay, so let me just bring out an angle that came up. in the course of this conversation, because I actually discussed it on my radio show on Sunday evening, and there was someone who called me. You know, the person called on the show, and the person made a very salient point. He said, "Oh, I'm still having a conversation with my ex. We're still very close friends.
Yeah.
We still talk. We're intimate. No, not intimate like intimate, but like we're still very close." And I was like, "Why didn't you marry her?" And then he said, "Because of AS."
Their blood groups.
The blood groups.
Okay.
And so it's a case of they are finding it difficult to cut off, despite the fact that he has gone ahead to marry someone else.
Genotype.
Thank you. So, like, they're struggling to cut off each other because of, you know, the...
So it wasn't because they didn't... They aren't apart because they had a fight or...
No, there was no problem between them. But most people will tell you that it's best for them to, you know, do a sharp cut-off and then try to focus more on whatever relationship.
Because there's a likelihood that they might get intimate.
Yes,
but
that
then,
kind of...
But then he's still married to her.
Who now?
She's the first wife, but they don't know it
Exactly.
yet.
He's still married to
you know,
her
that's why I
because that
said...
relationship is whether that woman in the house is just a figurehead. She's just an object. For,
So obviously
I settled with this one. But the woman that he's really married to, because he has
Emotional connection.
very
Very strong.
which is very important.
Mike, are you
in
still
a
connected to your
relationship.
exes?
If
No, for me, I'm not. So,
What's your
let's
relationship?
put it this way.
Pepe.
Oh,
Do you chat with
It's
them? You
not-
guys cordial?
one, maybe just one. But as much as possible, so because people have to deal with things in different ways. For me, on a personal level, what I do is that, of course, I take off that time. Do you understand? Because I would have probably invested emotions, invested myself, and then I need,
and all of that.
exactly, so I need some time. And then most times, what's the need? There is no need for me, you understand? But you see, it works with different people. People work in different ways. Especially if you are very good friends, and then if you still have, if you're still in contact with them, so probably maybe if you're dating a colleague or a fellow student and all that, there might be
You
recourse
see them
to
all the
still, of a
time.
necessity, have, you know, a cordial relationship with them. If you're business partners and all of that. So it depends. I know people who, there's this lady who broke up from her boyfriend. But boyfriend and the father were so close. They were business partners.
Boyfriend and father.
And the father. So the dad always, they talk steady. Hello, no problem. Business is going on. You're not my daughter, but what about
You
you?
never did say yours. You never did say yours, yes.
Well, before marriage, I'm very cordial and had relationships. Okay with my exes. But after marriage, things have to change.
So what changed?
I got married.
Yeah, what changed after marriage?
Sometimes my finger, I can't.
And so you don't talk to them anymore?
There's no need. If I was to bump into you, yes, it would be cordial, but I wouldn't go out of my way to try and be. I'm distracted now. Mike is distracting me.
Is it Mike or is it?
No, it's not even a
Please, we need to take this break. I need to do something about Mazino this morning. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria. What's your problem? Leave this guy alone now.
And we are back, people. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, it is our kitchen segment. And this morning with me is Chef Shebio Tima. Hi, good morning. I love your heart. What do you call it? She doesn't know. Okay, moving on. All right, we're making boiled potatoes with vegetable sauce. Those on a feed farm journey. This breakfast is definitely for you. All right, so let's talk about the ingredients quickly.
Yes, this is our potato, our boiled pepper, meat, locust beans, spice, onions, vegetable, ugu precisely, omo, stockfish, Titus precisely, our bell pepper to garnish it.
I love it. I love it. I mean, this is what comes to mind when you think vegetable sauce, and then you're adding the yellow, red, and green bell peppers to it. That gives it quite a variety. That gives it a kick. Gives it something different.
Something nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I'm sure we all know how to boil potatoes, but just in case you can't, is there any special hack you want to teach us when it comes to boiling our potatoes?
Boiling potato is, you can boil potato, but the thing is, it's good to boil with the peel. Don't peel.
Oh, don't peel. Okay. 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 It retains all of those nutrients in it.
Yes. After boiling, you can now peel. But, you know, when you boil it with this, when you want to peel, it's hot. So
you have to wait for it to cool.
So that's why. But boiling, that's what I'm going to do now. Boiling with the peel. I'm not going to peel it until after cook.
Okay.
It's just a normal way.
And then let's talk about the process for the vegetable sauce.
Yes, our onions, our red pepper, red oil.
Okay, we're using palm oil.
I'm using palm oil, red oil, then onions, locust beans, the pepper, then all the rishi goes
in. You always have a way of bringing so much into one dish, and I love it. And so we have quite a few nutrients here, or ingredients that we can, get nutrients from. You have your locust beans here. There's so much benefit you can get from your locust beans. And if you missed out on the ingredients earlier on, it's right there on your screen. It was something that you'd like to try out this morning. The kids are definitely going to love this. Not every time, right? Sometimes add a bit of variety to their food timetable. That's, to their diet, something different. Potatoes are very, very, very healthy. And if there's one thing that some of these ingredients have in common, it is that they are high in antioxidants, which also helps to boost your immune system. You have a lot of vitamins in your vegetables. And so tell us, for your vegetables, are you going to how much or how do you cook it?
It's not going to take time. And I'm not going to put it in hot water. It's going to be rinse and directly into the sauce.
Yeah.
And it's going to take maybe 5 minutes, because when you overboil vegetable,
it becomes stale,
all the nutrients. Yeah. So it's just to steam it.
So still keep it fresh and still while you're still retaining all of those nutrients, and you're still getting the best from your veggies. We are making boiled potatoes, boiled sweet potatoes, guys. I know. They used to be very affordable, but now they're gradually becoming quite expensive. But in the array
it's taking the place of, you can take the place of yam. You can do
exactly. I was coming to that. When it comes to your tubers like yam or Irish potatoes or cocoa yam, I made ojojo. Yes, I did.
What did you put inside?
Okay, no, sorry, water yam. That's what I actually meant to say, water yam.
That's
they're those small yam potatoes.
Water yam.
Water yam.
It's mostly eaten by the Jebus.
Yeah.
Correct.
No. But this one was ojojo. The one you after you grate and then you fry. Ojojo, yeah. And you taught me how to make ojojo.
Did you put orishi?
Trust me now.
You didn't come and
garnished it well. Don't worry, next time.
I should have called Mike. Mike should have been in that position to do the taste.
All right, so we're just waiting for our pan to cool up while we, start boiling our potatoes. And then we get our vegetable sauce ready, cooking rather, in a bit. But hey, we want you to be part of everything that's happening here in the kitchen. We're not leaving you out of it. But for now, we have to head over to the couch for some health discussion with Mike.
It's health this Tuesday morning, and our topic today, health screening, a panacea to healthy living. Dr. Awujumobi Otokiti Oluwakemi is our guest today, a passionate and dedicated consultant in hematology and lab science. It is great to have you. You're welcome. I love your dress, by the way.
Thank you.
You could as well be an work of art, as well as a doctor. So, okay, so we're talking about health screening today, and I know we started this discussion we've been talking about it up until now and all of that. But yes, maybe once again for a recap, what have we covered so far and where are we going to today?
So in the previous discussion that we had, we spoke basically on what health screening is, and health screening is a means or strategy to identify diseases or risk factors in individuals before the disease becomes clinically obvious or apparent. And there's just one simple goal: identify early, treat early, give a better chance at cure, give a better chance at management, give a better chance before complications start to arise. So at the end of the day, the person is better off.
Wonderful. So our focus today, what's our focus for today's discussion?
So I think for this discussion, I would like to just elucidate different type of screening methods available and different diseases that screening tests are available that can help identify before they become.
Okay, so let's go. Let's kick off. Let's talk about the methods and kind of tests you can take.
All right. So as I said earlier on before, the goal of screening is that you want to first mitigate complications from happening. You can even prevent the development of the disease entirely, thereby reducing the incidence of disease in the first place. So quite a number of diseases, very important diseases, clinically important diseases to individuals and to the population are available, like the pap smear. So the pap smear helps to identify women that are at risk of developing cervical cancer. And then we have the mammogram that can detect subclinical nodes in the breast before clinically obvious breast cancer happens, and then there are pre-diabetes screening. So before an individual develops diabetes, you can pick it up, and something as simple as a weight loss regimen or lifestyle modification can prevent the development of diabetes entirely.
Entirely?
Yes, and you're talking about AFB, colonoscopy for colon cancer, colorectal cancer, screening for inborn errors of metabolism before the complications start happening and all that. So there are quite a number of array of screening tests available.
Now, I want to ask this. Now, this is something that so many people don't know. Susceptibility to a particular kind of disease, maybe from family history and all of that. You know, how important is it for a person to know your family history, maybe the kind of sicknesses that your father, your grandfather, your uncles, so that you can understand maybe your susceptibility ratio or factor as the case may be, and, you know, prevent it. How important is it for one to know the family medical history in all of this?
Very important. There's something they tell us in medical school many years back that aside from environmental factors influencing the risk factor of developing a disease or disorder, genetic makeup is just as important. Yes. So virtually for any kind of disease, we always ask, do you have any family history of this kind of disorder in a first degree relative, like your mother, your father, your sister, is very important. So individuals who have previous family history of certain disease will advise them, okay, go for screening earlier. Don't wait for the recommended time. Maybe when you're an adult, start screening. If you start feeling these symptoms, start screening. So very important. And it's also important to know that in certain institutions, health institutions like where I work, Fit Plus Healthcare, we have different packages that have been tailored to tailored to different individuals. So you can help, like, you can determine that for an individual, a male or a female is at this age, definitely there are some tests that can be done to screen them for certain diseases that they are susceptible to.
All right. Welcome back. Sorry about that slight technical issue. It's been sorted and we're back. Now we're talking about screening, you know, health screening, panacea to healthy living. And Doctor, you were at the point where you were talking about the different packages that you have that cater to different people with different needs. Can you please go over that again?
Okay, so thank you very much. At Fit Plus Healthcare, we have different screening packages and health packages that have been tailored to different sets of individuals. So whether you're a child, you're a kid, you're a young adult, you're an elderly person, male or female, different risk factors, family history, whatever it is, there are different screening packages available.
What if I don't have all this information? Yes, there's some people that don't know how old they are. You know that. You know that. There's some people that don't know how old they are. Of course, definitely for the generation just before us, the baby boomers and all of that. So people don't know their exact age. There's a lot of people who don't know their family history. And there's some people who are in families where you know now something happened and they are not really, their father is not really their father. Like, you understand? Yes. In those kind of scenarios where you don't have all this information, where next? How can one proceed with a screen test?
Okay, so that is very easy. The mere fact, at least it's obvious, you're either a male or female.
Okay.
You're either a young adult or an elderly person or a child. So whatever your health needs are, whatever category of life you fall in, there's always something for you. There is always a way to go about this thing and, you know, find something tailored to your need. And also depending on the clinical symptoms or whatever you want. At Fit Plus Healthcare, we are able to, just because we have in-house consultants and that, you know, that can care for you and then just provide the services you need, whatever it may be. So that's not a problem.
Yes, the most important thing is get a professional and talk to somebody.
Yes.
And then from there,
there is always something.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you on the show this morning, and I hope that with all that we're doing, people are more, you know, they have the knowledge more to go out there and take care of screen tests.
It's better to know, and like they say, prevention is better.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, that's it. That's it on health this morning. We'll take a time out now. Don't go anywhere. The show is still on.
Oh, nice features there. Well done to those young boxers. There's nothing wrong in catching them young. We have here in the kitchen with me is Chef Shebi Otima.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, ma'am?
Great.
Yeah, we are making boiled potatoes with vegetable sauce.
Our onions is green.
Now let's talk about how far we've gone so
I'm
far.
trying to make our vegetable.
Okay.
So this is our onion.
We're about to make our vegetable sauce now, right?
Yes.
And what's up with the boiled potatoes?
It's boiling.
Okay. So I see that you're cooking them with
the peel.
The peel.
Yes.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to put this.
So now that we have our onions cooking, letting all of those flavors soak into the oil, what are we putting next?
Pomo.
Okay. Nice. And then?
My fish.
Okay. That looks good. This smoked Titus. Quite expensive now. You find one for like 700 to 900 naira, if not more.
In fact.
Another option could be, what's some of the other fish?
Panla.
Panla. No.
Shower.
Shower. Yes. Shower.
Everything is so expensive.
Yeah, it is. But we gotta eat, right? And we gotta find.
Then our local beans is going in.
Okay.
The secret of the recipe.
Oh, nice. Yes, locust beans has a lot of amazing health benefits, guys. It's also very good for the eyes. And it chases away diabetes, you know, helps with your blood pressure. Yeah, I told you guys, it is packed with a lot of nutrients that help you live longer.
Then
so
our mixed pepper.
Okay, so what do we have in here?
We have meat.
Okay.
We have
what kind of meat? Cow meat.
Cow meat.
Okay.
We have panla.
Okay.
We have.
You have panla in here still.
In here. Still.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's going in.
So is this like blended tomatoes and pepper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That looks good already. Nice. I told you, whenever Chef Shibiotimo is here, she always brings so much. So while you're having every bite of the meal, you're taking in something. You did the pomo, the panla, or the fish,
I'm
or the
putting
meat.
the seasoning.
All right. If you missed out on the ingredients earlier on, it's coming right up on your screen in a second. Check them out, something that you'd like to make today or tomorrow or whenever. Well, the ingredients are right there on your screen. Remember that you don't have to stick to these ingredients. I mean, you can do with what you can afford or what's, you know, easily accessible to you. What's most important here is learning the recipe,
yes.
right?
The atmosphere is changing already.
Yes, it is. It's big. It's smelling really nice. And then, yeah, so your salt, your spice here. What's that?
You know, it's secret of the recipe.
No, you cannot do secret ingredients here. You're telling us that you need to let us know what it is. What's that secret ingredients that you're putting?
When it comes to spice, you know.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, just one. Just one.
One. He said one. What's the one? Ginger.
Okay, so I'm guessing there's ginger and turmeric and garlic in there because, I mean, when you have that combination of spice, you expect your meal to be yum-some. Yeah.
Now, the bell pepper is going in.
Okay, we're putting our bell peppers. So we have our green, yellow, red bell peppers in there. Nice. How long are we going to cook that for?
Maybe like a few seconds.
Okay.
They're all vegetables, so you don't need to cook them so much.
Okay.
So
you don't have to cook it for too long. Yeah.
And
because remember, they are vegetables, and they're also very high in nutrients as well. You want to make sure you want those nutrients.
This is rinsed already.
Okay.
It's properly cleaned.
Okay.
So
is that going in now?
It's going in.
Okay. See, this is a very quick and easy recipe. No stress at all. All you just need is to get your veggies, get your blended tomatoes and pepper, get your protein. If you want to use meat, fish, any of it, you know, just get it ready. Bell peppers, if you can. If you can't, well, if you can't do without them, if you can't get them, that's still okay. It still doesn't take away from the vegetable sauce, right?
Yes,
right.
Still fine.
Yeah, it's just that Shibiotimo likes, you know, a bit of everything in her meal, you know, a bit of this, a bit of that.
I like that IP. It's making me to feel.
It's making you happy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so basically this is it. Our vegetable sauce is ready. So we're just going to let it cook for just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit, then we are good to go.
And then we're good to go. We need to be sure that all of those veggies are still, you know, fresh and crisp when you put them in your mouth. Ooh, getting all those nutrients in. And then for our boiled potatoes still here cooking, yeah, as you can see, we just washed it thoroughly. And we're boiling and cooking everything. And when they're ready, we're just going to peel off the back, and then, yeah, and it's good, ready. Did you put in salt?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. All right, breakfast is almost ready. I'm pretty excited about this. This is quite a healthy meal, guys. If you're on a diet, this is an option for you. We have to go on a quick break now, people. The top of the hour is upon us, people. Let's do this.
Welcome once again. It's the second hour for our Tuesday edition here. While most people set their alarms for the start of the, you know, Wake Up Nigeria show just to get up at that time.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay if you want to meet us halfway since you woke up late, but it's okay. We prepared for you
don't
late
make it
risers.
loud and not too much emphasis. But you know what? Make good on this. You might have missed out on some interesting sessions from earlier, but you're still welcome to jump on board. Yes, and that's for the next 45 minutes of golden content right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Like we put it, golden content. That is what it is. And entertaining rest of the show is what we have for you guys dialed in for you. Some very interesting, bold conversations. A very good dose for the next half hour. So you guys just stay where you are for the best breakfast show that you could ever ask for.
Yes, your guess is as good as mine, though. You're going to say something.
No, what? I was
because Mazino is definitely in a very fun.
I am today, thanks to Mike.
Okay, so Emin and Chef Shebi Otimo are very busy in the kitchen right now. I feel like Mazino is going to milk this for all it's worth.
For a long time.
It's
what's happening
obvious
in there?
Mazino did not laugh all through the weekend.
Oh.
And we are glad to be that spice. We are glad to be that one, you know, putting the smile on your face, Mazino.
Emma,
yeah.
Of
course, breakfast is ready. Don't worry. The icing on the cake, or maybe the cherry on top, is right here, Mazino.
Yes.
This stray bullet Emma is sending my way.
It's rich here.
It's okay, no problem. Anyhow, we won't let you guys wait too long for any of the final pieces for the greatest show on earth. But hey,
the greatest show.
She broke into song. I wasn't expecting that. A horrible voice. But we assure you.
What was the last thing you said?
You've got a fantastic voice, Mary. You actually do. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And of course, my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Did you know that you could catch the show live on GOTV? You will find us at channel 27 and of course on UHF channel 49. You can stream the show live as well at TVC Entertainment and on Facebook. That's for the website though is tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yeah, we're gonna let you guys know what we have coming your way in just about a bit. But please remember to download the app. Make sure you have it. It's iOS and also on Android. It's that easy. One. You know,
yeah, and talking about what we have in store for you.
Thereafter, our parenting segment comes up. Today, we will be talking what to do in cases of sexual abuse and vices with Omolayo Ayodeji. Now, she's a speaker, author, certified Montessori instructor, and a lover of children with special needs. Can't wait to have her here on the couch.
And finally, we will be reintroducing our entertainment segment today.
Alrighty, welcome back. Second hour, we've got, what, 40 minutes to go? You were talking about something.
Okay, so there's this food sport. Well, they call it's actually snacks. So what these Igbo boys do is they have a shack where they sell donuts and puff-puff and all of that.
Lagos?
Ketu.
Okay.
To be precise. So I drive, you know, through there every day. And then every single time I want to buy their snacks because it's, you know, yeah, because it smells really good. And then it's the morning you get. But then they sell right beside the gutter.
Oh.
Their location, very strategic because just right there at the bus stop, you get. So you can imagine, you know, droves of people coming in there to buy stuff, but it's just right beside the gutter. And that's the only reason I would not buy from them. As much as I really want to, I won't because of safety concerns. You get, I mean, we have heard cases of food poisoning. And then secondly, also begs the question, we have health inspectors in Lagos State. Those are the things that they are supposed to help to, because you have regulations, you're supposed to checkmate these things to avoid, food poisoning and whatnot.
I've only heard one instance of health regulations actually going into action. And I think it was a couple of years ago. There was this video of this lady, somewhere in Lekki, who videoed these two men who were bringing out fruits from inside of a gutter. It was horrid to see. Did you guys see it? Yes. They actually store it inside.
Yeah.
Now, so there's a certain logic in doing that. I'm not advising it, but if you put anything inside of water that's oxygen deprived, I think it'll actually preserve it. So this is a local mentality, but that's what they've been doing to store and preserve their mangoes.
Yes.
And then they bring it out and then wash it.
And I love mangoes.
That video went viral, and then the safety inspectors, I think you call them, actually went into action, arrested them and all.
There was another video as well of, these guys that sell coconuts and tiger nuts, the raw ones. The guy was washing them with gutter water, like rinsing them out, not so clean water.
Do you have any horror stories yourself?
So what's all this thing about saying now? For what end?
So what I even wanted to point out is, the reality is 90% of what we eat is from really horrible places.
Oh, geez, no.
I have a feeling that if you know where what you eat is coming from, you would probably go fasting for the rest of your life.
But that's the reality. Like I said, this conversation should spur health officials to do something about, quality check at restaurants, any food shack at all, any food business at all. They really need to, because in other climes they actually do.
Bam, that's it.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
What are you talking about?
Tell you guys what, before we run out of all the time, let's do the weather.
Well, good to see you again. You're watching the news here on Wake Up Nigeria with Kelly Egiga. Let's begin with politics in Oyo State, where Bayo Lawal has been sworn in as the new deputy governor of that state. The new deputy governor was sworn in by the state chief judge, Justice Mokhtar Bimbola, and Governor Seyi Makinde urged the new deputy governor to take the welfare of the people of Oyo State as his priority. We have details in this report.
The swearing-in of the new deputy governor, Adebayo Lawal, came few hours after the impeachment of Rauf Olaniyan, who was accused of misconduct. The House, at a separate sitting, approved Bayo Lawal as the new deputy governor of the state after being nominated by Governor Seyi Makinde.
Allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The approval was followed by an inauguration which was conducted by the Chief Judge of Oyo State and witnessed by Governor Seyi Makinde and other top government functionaries in the state.
I, Adebayo Adenike Lawal, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That as Deputy Governor of Oyo State, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability.
In his remarks, the governor of Oyo State says much is expected from the deputy governor, as he was entrusted the position based on his remarkable achievements in the past.
So let me encourage you to put the interest of the good people of Oyo State first. Because we said if you've excelled, we're going to give you more work. And you continue to supervise the Housing Corporation, even from this position.
I've taken that from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I know that it's a position of trust. Trust to the Constitution and trust to the appointer, which is the governor of Oyo State.
The newly sworn-in deputy governor has also served in the capacity of the Attorney General of Oyo State during the administration of Governor Lam Adesina. He has promised to assist the governor in the discharge of his duty as stipulated by the Constitution. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
Staying with other stories now, the people of Akure, Ondo State capital, are asking the federal government to extend rail projects to the state. They made the call at a grand reception organized for the newly appointed Minister of State for Transportation at Demola. Ayodeji Murade has more in this report.
Weeks after Ademola Adegoroye was appointed Minister of State for Transportation, the people of Akure, his own town, organized this grand reception to welcome him back home. Mr. Adegoroye, Prince of Akure, replaced Senator Tayo Alasho-Adura in the cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari after he resigned to contest the All Progressives Congress APC senatorial ticket in the state. He was received by a crowd of party supporters, Akure leaders, among others. The new minister was also received by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, who described him as the worthy son of Akure. Governor Akeredolu urged him to do everything possible to bring development to the state. Mr. Adegoroye was also at the palace of the Deji of Akure, Oba Aladotoyinbo Aladelusi, where he assured him that he will use his office to add value to governance in Nigeria.
PC members, even PDP members, the reaction I got after my announcement as a minister was tumultuous, was unbelievable. Everybody in Akure, everybody in this state, no, they didn't care that I was a member of APC. Even those who are not, everybody was happy, and it's evident, and you can see it today. So I give God all the glory.
Some APC leaders urged the minister to use his office to ensure that the rail project is extended to the state.
Dominantly agrarian state, so I want to believe that if they extend the rail line to Akure, it will assist in evacuating farm products and ensure that a lot of our people are engaged in the. There will be a train station. It will be a terminus. If it ends in Akure, that will be a terminus. Then it will employ a lot of people.
We are as patient as a dove. So for the governor telling us that we should allow him, we have all been looking forward to having a seaport approval in Ondo State and to have one of our own as a state minister for transport.
The people also urged the minister to ensure that rapid development is brought to Akure and the state at large. Ayode Jimora, your TVC News, Akure.
That took us straight into worship mode this beautiful Tuesday morning. Thank you so much. All right, it's time for us to talk parenting. And today the focus is on what to do in cases of sexual abuse and vices. And of course, to do justice to this subject is Omolayo Oyawe. She is a speaker, an author, a certified Montessori instructor, as well as a lover of children with special needs. Now, she also founded Essence for Women, which is an online video podcast aimed at improving the lives of women. And it is indeed such a pleasure to have her in the studio with us this morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you too?
Very well. You wear so many hats. However, today's subject is one that I'm sure so many people, it resonates with them, especially those who have suffered it. So let's just hit the ground running. Okay. Let's talk about how, as a parent, you deal with your child being sexually abused or you find out your child has been involved in one sexual vice
or the other. Okay, so it's a very bad sight, all right, to find out that your child has been abused. And, you know, it's worse how parents get to know. That's even where the pain comes from, because usually children don't work up to their parents, especially if you've not been that friendly parent who's talked about sex and all of that. So when they get found out from a neighbor or a school or something, it's more painful for a parent. And like I wrote a book on sex education for children. It's online. You can find it on teller.co. You know, and there are hard copies everywhere. You see, it's important how your first response, that's going to determine how well the child and how fast the child is going to be healed. And we know, I was talking about emotional healing last week, how it takes time, because you can't touch emotional pain. Yeah, so it takes time, and so for you to get your child to understand who they are and how that the sexual abuse does not define them. It depends on how you react. And so the first thing I'd say is do not panic. Do not. I know you'll be pained. Parents knows how that would touch deeply into your soul. But you need to calm down. Don't panic. Don't show the child that you are out of control. Let the child know, first of all, I love you. I'm here with you. We'll walk through this together, and I want to hear more. What was done to you? Who did what? Where was it done? When a child knows that I can express everything to my parents. They will tell you everything. And why it's important to hear everything is how to prevent it. So you know who is even involved. We need to expose this person. We need to arrest this person and all of that. So you need to understand that. And then you would need some therapy yourself. I mean, seeing all of that, hearing all of that. But you don't want to pour it out on your child. All right, so you want to take out time to always be there for the child. Never bring up the case of the sexual abuse when your child has done something wrong, maybe later in future. Don't say, oh, that was why this happened to you.
African parents,
yeah.
hashtag.
Yeah, like never do that, all right? Never blame the child that, oh, I told you not to go there in the first place. Oh, I told you not to be his friend in the first place. No. Never do that. Because the first thing sexual abuse attacks is the child's self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, I'm worth nothing. If this could be done to me, I'm worth nothing. And you want to over and over again talk words of affirmation to this child to say, that is not who you are. There's more to your life than this. I want to be there for you. You can express your anger, your pain. You can cry on my shoulder. That's the kind of parenting you're supposed to show your child. Let your child say in the future, I was sexually abused, but my mother was there for me. My father was there for me. Because nobody would understand them. And protect your child. Protect your child from being stigmatized. So when you go out there and somebody say, stand up for your child with your full chest. This is my child. I'm going to protect my child. My child is not the abuse they've suffered. All right? Wow. And of course, don't talk about it to anybody. Except your child gives you the permission. Yeah, except a counselor, a therapist. I'm a child behavior therapist. So usually want to say a child behavior therapist to say, how do you help this child? But don't broadcast it. Wow. Don't call your parents or your husband or your friend.
Come and see what happened though.
Yeah, do you understand me? Except your child expressly gives the permission to do that. That's absolutely important.
Even when the child gives permission, sometimes you need to be sure, because sometimes it might be due to the stress at that moment. The child probably is even thinking straight.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we've touched on what to do, for the child.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we have adults who are still suffering the trauma of their childhood sexual abuse experience. How then do you reach out to such people? Because so many adults are still trapped in that particular age.
Yeah. So, so because it's been a while, happened when you were a baby or a child, you tend to feel, oh, I'm over it. Oh, I've forgotten about it. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. The truth is, for so many people, the child sexual abuse trauma kind of forms your emotional status, so to say. It's not conscious. It doesn't happen consciously. You don't know. That's why certain adults are very defensive. You talk about something and they'll be like, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
What's with all the action? Yeah. So I found out that about myself earlier, and I found out that because I could not defend myself at the point of being abused, every opportunity I got, I wanted to do it. Like now I have the power to defend myself. Now I have the power to control things, all right? So when you've been sexually abused as a child, you need to dig deep down. You need to zoom into that little child who was abused and say, how are you? You need to find out if you never really got over it. And people never really get over it until they talk about it. So sweethearts, if you're a mother, a father, an adult, whether you're married or not, and you've been sexually abused, it's a good time to talk about it to someone. To say, okay, so this happened to me. I don't know if it's still having an effect on me right now or not. You need to talk about it to a therapist. You need to talk about it to a trusted friend who wants to listen. And I say that the healing comes faster when you're able to describe exactly what happened. Because such things thrive in secrecy. You know it has happened, you just want to keep it there. It's a part of your life you don't want anybody to know about. Talk about it. Express exactly what they did to you. Express how it was painful. Express everything you had to go through. That's where you are relieved, you know, and that's where you begin to know, okay, this thing I do, this thing I say, is it because of what had happened? Some people...
There's actually so much to say about this. It's a thing of passion, especially for someone who has also suffered it before. It can be really traumatic. So much to say, really, and I must thank you so much, because I'm sure you're touching the core of somebody right now.
I'm glad to do
If you would like to continue the conversation with her, you know exactly how to do so. Of course, we always share the social media handles on TV. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. So I'll be here next week. We'll talk more about it.
Yeah, it will be amazing. It will be amazing. All right, with that, we will take a break. Of course, you're still watching Wake Up Nigeria. Still more to come. Stay with us. Ain't your mama know?
Like, this is all I do. I don't dance.
I love that song. And then do you notice that the guy looks like Ben Affleck? Okay, so let's
I think she's always had a crush on that guy, low-key. Anyways, welcome to the kitchen, Dion.
Thank you.
This is Chef Shebio Tima. This morning, she's made for you boiled sweet potatoes with vegetable sauce.
Okay. So first of all, it looks delicious.
Oh, good.
My nose, my eyes, they eat before my mouth.
All right, great.
I can smell it, I can see it.
All right, so would like to know your thoughts on it.
Let me try here first.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, let us know what you think about it.
You can tell it's a food critic. You start from the sauce.
Yeah? You notice, huh?
I always wonder where to start from.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You need to tell us already.
I know, you're trying to...
Wait patiently.
Can I continue, like,
you know,
do I have to say anything?
You know what, I think your reaction is
It's priceless. It's okay. It says everything.
It says everything.
All right, thank you so much.
Fantastic.
All right, thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of the show today, to everyone who has contributed, the crew, and of course all our guests. Thank you so much, Chef Shebio Timor. Thank you, Dion. Have a very good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.